Hello and welcome to the Elo Hell Get Good console NA quarterfinals. We got two big teams from the console scene taking the battle against each other. We have Minnesota Vibe Kings taking on Saga Banditos, and here to bring you the action, I got myself, Cast GG, and Chef Billy. How are you today, my friend?
Oh, I'm good. A little bit rainy here, but looking at our teams here today, Ocean, we are very familiar with these two teams in a little bit different iterations from another league that we were both part of. Looking at the side from Minnesota Vibe Kings, captained by Q2, we see a lot of the stars from the CGL in here. We see Matamata Mazri, we see Singular Bird, Vobendo, Spark Chief, all very high class players coming from respective orgs inside of our old league and very capable in their positions that they play. We're really going to be looking at Spark Chief on the main tank and see how he sets the tone for the Minnesota Vibe Kings. And as we are looking at Saga Banditos, Fishface Gecko is going to have his hands full with Spark Chief all day today as they clash in the main tank position. I think this is going to be one of those matches where we see the supports really set the pace of what we're going through. And how are they going to keep up their front line? How are they going to enable the DPS when they are going in for their dashes, their slashes, their love? And we will see how they go up against each other. I think the DPS, when they do get a chance to shine, I think it's going to be flashy. It's going to be fiery. It's going to be very quick paced. It's all about the pacing that we're going to see, though. Pacing of the two teams, whose support line really stands up to the pressure coming in. I think that's what we're looking for, Ocean.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And one sort of thing that helps Saga, Saga, I would say they're coming into this as sort of the underdogs. They have got some good stars who are, just coming off of a win in CGL MTT 7, where they had Crazy Idiots. They've got two players there joining the rest of the very strong and capable Saga Banditos roster. They also got Toxia, who's a very, very good Baptiste player. And that could maybe allow Pabachi to play Mercy, which could definitely enable Squishaloon and Killer Dogs. So that could be super cool. But with this sort of double shield meta, how do you think that plays into both Fishface Gecko and Spark Chief, who are pretty good at Oasis, or sorry, Orisa. The Oasis is our first map, but Spark Chief and Fishface Gecko both pretty capable on that Orisa, both very good communicatively. Do you think there's an advantage to either of the main tanks there?
I think that honestly, Fishfake Gecko takes the Orisa battle between these
Yeah.
two because we saw Fishfake Gecko with Saga really own that position, especially in the latter part of the playoffs in the CGL. Really took their team pretty far. I think that the real battle here is going to be between Soviet Rainfrog and Mr. Goldfish on the Sigmas. Looks like we might be seeing a little bit of a weird dive coming out from the Minnesota Vibe Kings. We knew them as the Gorillas in our previous league, so we will absolutely be looking for them. Rainfrog also had a very good wrecking ball, so if
Yeah.
they're looking to disrupt in the back line, that could be something that we want to kind of look in on.
Yeah, so we've seen Right Guy go for the Lucio speed, off of spawn, and then switch over to the Brigitte. A very stable pick right now. You see the more typical Brigitte Baptiste composition coming out from the side of Saga Banditos. Both teams are going to look to get set up on the point. We also see Soviet Rainfrog on that wrecking ball, as you call it out. So we'll see how he engages on that backline. Scaldy trying to do some damage on that Tracer. However, gets some peel after going low there. Though wins the Tracer duel against Squishaloon, and it's all going up for the side of the Minnesota Vibe Kings. However, Rainfrog goes down, so they lose one of those tanks to Fishface Gecko. Nice hold onto the Wrecking Ball, and then a kill. And yeah, Singular Bird's got this high ground. I get to kill onto Ataxia.
Yeah, but there goes the recall gotten out of Scoldy, and you've got this dual level attack right now. They've raised the level of the eyes of the Saga Banditos, and here comes the cleanup coming from the support crew. Q2 getting some very nice kills there. Soviet Rainfrog just creating all kinds of hell for the DPS line of Saga Banditos, and that's going to be the capture of the first point. And looking at what we have on the board as far as ultimates, Scoldy already has a pulse bomb, really outstripping Squishaloon by about 20%. We're looking at also the tank ultimates. Soviet Rainfrog is going to have these mines online to deter Saga Banditos from really claiming any kind of viable space, and I think we're going to have a little bit of a Tracer battle here.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see that Tracer Rainfrog getting hold back But they got away there, now it gets picked up. Scorby's pulse bomb does get eaten as well, so it's advantage to the Banditos now. Q2, Immortality Field gone, so that cooldown, that crucial 30-second cooldown is gone. And Squishalane looking now for that pick in the backline. Killer Dogs has the high ground, has to play safe from Singular Bird and the Ant Matrix. Takes the Joe Singular Bird and both back off and with their lives. But now, Soviet Rainfolk is back and Scully has a kill, so Saga Banditos have lost their window to take advantage in this fight, and it looks like it's advantage to the Minnesota Vikings.
I mean, it's back and forth battle right now, you know, and looking at the ultimates coming out from both sides, you know, the mines are still on the field and still creating a lot of positional advantage for the Minnesota Vikings. Spark Chief is going to go ahead and let loose with that supercharger. That's going to be a massive amount of damage gained, and they're going to clean up the point here. There was so much contestation, and now they have completely flipped this on their back, and 75% and counting, no contest right now. But you do have 3 ultimates that you're going to be able to recontest this point with. So I want to see Fishface and Goldfish really use this these 2 tank ultimates to get into the face of the Minnesota Vikings and really take it to them.
Yeah, that's super exciting. Fishface Gecko has the supercharger. Supercharger has the highest teamfight ultimate win percentage rate of any ultimate from Overwatch League Season 2, so he's got to use it, and he's going to use it now. With the Gravitic Flux, they're going to get some huge damage. However, Scolding will take out their Mentality Field, so that cooldown is gone. Supercharger gone as well. As both these teams just kind of trading cooldown for cooldown, trying to get the better of each other in a bit of a bargaining match. However, Killer Dogs goes down to Scoldy. Scoldy getting so many picks and as the first pick in these fights on the Tracer, and is looking for more, trying to get the Baptiste and Brig in the backline now as the Toxin runs low, however gets healed up by their support partner. In this fight, just getting scrappy, and Scoldy will pick up another kill on the Tracer. Gecko this time, Singular Bird on the high ground will clean it up for Minnesota Vikings as they take it on City Center.
I mean, that was just back and forth. It got so scrappy there in the end. And I think that the ultimate economy that was coming out from Minnesota Vikings was the real difference between the two squads here. As we saw Singular Bird using that tac visor not only to corral people into positions, but he's also pulling out so many cooldowns from Saga that they were forced into using them maybe in a position where they didn't really want to, especially Ataxia's immortality barrier. That had to be pulled out early so many times just to get any kind of benefit out of their ultimates. So as we're looking at it right now, it looks like Q2 and company are really holding back what Saga wants to do. Of course, this is Control, and we all know how I feel about Control. It's the outlier of the maps. This doesn't really tell you what the team is capable of. This is more like just point control and hope you can survive the barrage coming in.
Yeah, we see a change in competition for both teams. But some things don't change. Scoldy getting the kill on the attack, and that Baptiste is gone. And I mean, Scoldy's been nuts on the Tracer so far, but so is their DPS partner Singular Bird getting a kill on the Squishalane, getting a kill on the Hibachi, and this fight was done very, very fast.
I mean, what a great halt coming in from Spark Chief, just corralling everybody together, grouping them up into a nice, neat little bundle. Singular Bird getting a dash through, but Scoldy already 70% to a pulse bomb. That is a lot of value out of the tiny British racer there. And you've got to think that there has to be some kind of compositional shift. You've got to bring out the CC to stop Scoldy. And I think Squishaloo swapping off the McCree to the Reaper. I don't know if that's necessarily the right choice here, but we'll see.
Yeah, they're going to the most typical brawl competition, but you can't brawl if you're being pulled down that hole. Now they're split off, and Scoldy in the backline, but does get picked off by Killer Dogs. Nice icicle to the head, which means that Tracer is gone. They're now sort of regrouped, and there's a Hawk in the backline. They got Sylvia and Raidfall now also going to be taken out, so advantage here for Saga Banditos. However, they weren't unable to take advantage of their fights before, and Singular Bird's coming in with the Dragon Blade, gets rid of the Immortality Field, as well as Gecko, and they're going for these kills now. However, he's going to get frozen up and killed. Actually, no, he's not. Spark Chief is to the rescue, and somehow Minnesota Vikings turn this around. I think I'm losing my voice with this one.
I mean, that was a huge immortality barrier coming out from Q2. Spark Chief was on the ropes there, didn't really have any reason for staying alive there. And, insert immortality field, insert immediate saving power. 3 ultimates on the board for the side from Minnesota Vikings. However, you do have Blizzard online. I'd like to see them aggress with this, and then maybe combine it with the Shatter. Really make sure that they stay down. Squishaloo is going to have to get this Death Blossom up in a hurry.
Yeah, they engaged with the stun bar and the amplification matrix after they got the kill on the Soviet Rainfog. This is their opportunity, Saga. They sense it. They're going to use the flux as well, so they're investing a lot of ultimates in Ataxia is going to take advantage, getting 2 kills. Point flips over, and Saga Banditos finally getting a foothold in the series and taking a team fight.
You know, and it cost them 3 ultimates to take that point. However, they did hold on to the Blizzard, so I think that's something that's going to go ahead and deny any kind of real contestation coming from Minnesota Vikings. However, Whole Hog, I mean, how much use are you really going to get it in this double shield meta? I think that if you pour it through the amplification matrix, however, that could really do it. But that's this huge shatter coming from Fishface.
Yeah, Fishface gets the shatter, so that means that the Whole Hog cannot go through the amplification matrix as you're suggesting, and that puts the fight in favor of Saga. However, Ryan Gang will pick up a kill onto Gecko.
Absolutely, and looking at Singular, he is so close to getting this blade up, but killer dog on the May, freezing him, slowing him down, and stopping that. Say, you shall not get that, sir. You are not going to get this. So, looking at what we have on the board for both teams, you've got Rally. Ryan Guy could actually push this in and really get them beefy as they try to take back this point. You're looking to get Spark Chief's Supercharger up online, I think, before you really make a big push, but especially depending on where they're at, how are they going to be able to get this Death Blossom off without being dropped instantly from Ryan Guy?
Yeah, that's definitely a good point. And also, it seems like a race against time for Hibachi to try and build that Sound Barrier once Ryan Guy builds them all up with the Rally. And here comes the Dragon Blade from Singular Bird. Has an Immortality Field and has some teammates in there. And not gonna lie, my camera froze up. However, it's back. And Singular Bird has fried. It's picked up 3 kills. 1 with the Dragon Blade, 1 with the melee, and 1 with the Shurikens. That's a nice, word of 3. Nice triple combo coming in from the Genji.
Yeah, they're going to have to get back to point fast, and there is an early Deadeye coming out from Scully, really stopping the one person that can get to the point. They're not going to be able to touch this. They did get in there, though, however, and they might be able to get that sound barrier out, hopefully, if he can get back. But Ataxia, look at Scully on this, on the McCree, just absolutely laying waste and getting all the stragglers out, and that's a pretty convincing 2-0 win there for them on Oasis here. And the DPS really did get a lot of value out of the heroes that they picked, especially Singular here. Once he got that Immortality Field down, he really laid into the side from Saga. But, we saw some signs of life coming out of Saga. I'm not sure if they were a little bit sleepy or if they didn't have enough espresso in their veins before they started playing. Really, Minnesota Vikings did come out and punch them in the face. And they are ready to go here. Also, looking at the brackets that we saw and how they got here to this point, Saga's coming off of a forfeit win to get to this point. And then looking at Minnesota Vikings, they come in being 3-0 winners of their last match. So they have the momentum on their side. So when we see what match is going to come out next, I think that the momentum squarely on the shoulders of Minnesota Vikings, and I'm really interested to see where is Hibachi and company from Saga Banditos gonna take us, and where is it going to play into their strengths?
Yeah, so I'm going to ask you 2 sort of evil questions. Well, we already know them. We've just been told, so our producers just ruined that for us. So I was going to ask you what map do you think Saga Banditos should take us to? But the other question I will ask, since we now know it is going to be Rialto for our Escort map, is we saw at the end there when Singular Bird got that Dragon Blade off that both of the support ultimates are actually online for Saga Banditos. Do you think that they, struggled at, knowing what their win conditions are for those fights and then getting those win conditions off and also responding to what the opposition is doing? Do you think there is some sort of correlation into that sort of aspect of the game and why they are losing this series so far?
I think that they were really counting on that immortality barrier to keep them up a lot more than it did. I also think they were counting on the May wall to really deny the progress of Singular Bird getting in there with the blade. However, he just chopped right through it. So I think that they leaned too much on their abilities instead of using the ultimates in a stacked pattern that they really could have kept themselves up with. I don't know how much the Amp Matrix really would have kept them up in there unless Ataxia was really able to get the healing through the Amp Matrix. That might have been a win condition for them to keep them up through that. But there was so much going on there, including the whole hog going on, or I'm sorry, the flux that was online from Soviet Rainfrog. So, they got really shoved into a corner, and I think they may have panicked.
Alrighty, yeah, it's easy to do in these hard moments. Of course, we are now in our playoffs quarterfinals. These are the last 8 teams in our senior division for our GGNA Xbox tournament. So it is down to the big guns now, and you are going to have to make those plays at the final times if you want to make it for the tournament. But of course, it is easy to, get sort of blindsided by the pressure and, make a mistake in that sort of situation. But hopefully, Saga can get together and bring us back here on Rialto.
I mean, like I said, I mean, they showed a lot of signs of life after getting their faces punched in on City Center. There in University, it was a lot more scrappy in there too, and I think that Fishface Gecko going over to the Rhine really threw a wrench in what Minnesota Vibe Kings were looking at the coming into. We saw a couple of really good shatters from Fishface Gecko. I didn't see much from Goldfish. I know that one of his fluxes did get a kill, but I mean, the damage was already done. When they finally flipped the point, it was 85%. To the Minnesota Vibe Kings. So they were really in last fight territory anyways. And I mean, the amount of progress that they got really showed to how they were managing cooldowns, managing abilities, and really keeping the focus on the 2 choke points. I don't know if they really could have done anything else. I think it was at that point, it was just a battle of attrition. And just the Vibe Kings waiting out Banditos cooldowns in their ultimate rotation.
Yeah. And there are some, questions. I actually know a Fisher's Gecko from a long time ago. And Fisher's Gecko, I know, is a very, very good shot caller, very, very strong in his communication. And you can tell that they were confident in his Reinhardt. And one other thing I really like with Saga Banditos is they showed that they were willing to adapt. They saw that Soviet Rainfolk was playing that wrecking ball. So they were like, okay, we're going to keep it some sort of stun. So like the McCree or the Arisa, so they can hold or maybe flashbang. So they kept that sort of option open to them at the start. And then realized he's not on the wrecking ball, he's on the Roadhog. Let's go for this Sigma Reinhardt composition. Let's go pop off. So they're showing that they're willing to adapt. And I think that's a really crucial thing at this point in the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and the meta's kind of changing too. I believe that the patch went live today on Xbox. So, not so much damage from the shurikens. That's one thing. So you're not getting that Genji blade quite as fast. So we're looking at, basically how are they going to manage each other? How is Saga Banditos really going to stop what the DPS duo of Scoldy and Singular Bird are going to do against their team? And I think that Hibachi and Ataxia, I think they got a little bit split off from each other at points. Either was through just trying to follow too closely to their main tank line. That's where I want to see, a little bit more coordination. And so, yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to look at that improvement. One other thing I wanted to draw might be a potential weakness for Minnesota Vibe Kings is they kind of stayed on their hero picks a lot. We saw Singular Bird stick to that Soldier 76 pick and almost lose a couple of jewels in the Ash versus Soldier 76 hit scan matchup on City Center. And we also saw Soviet Rainfrog die first a couple of times on that Roadhog pick on University, which definitely isn't the strongest pick into the Ryan Sigma composition. So it definitely lost value with that Roadhog there as we're about to head into Rialto.
Yeah, so as we see the teams come out, we're going to be
Okay, so we're here in Rialto. This is one of my favorite maps in the game, if not only for the really awesome retribution in-game mission, but we also have a nice sunny map with loads of cool attractions. You can ride the boats. You can also, boops. You can kill things on Lucia. That's really cool. That's really fun. I just really enjoy Rialto. It's one of my favorite escort maps, and definitely one of my favorite maps to watch. In particular, I really like watching Shanghai Dragons on this map. It's definitely a treat if you watch Fearless's Winston in particular. On this map, it is super awesome how Fearless can control the high ground, so that's something you want to watch out for when you're watching Overwatch League. And speaking of dive on this map, we're going to see Saga Banditos rock out with it.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Okay, so apparently I am now the sort of, rap god that we have right now. So actually we've just been hard bit and we're not going to see dive from the offense, and that is, of course, Saga Banditos. As we saw, they decided to go for Rialto as their map pick. If you lose the previous map, you get to select your map, and if you win the previous map, you get to select if you attack or defend first. And they've decided to defend first on the side of Minnesota Vibe Kings, and they are running some sort of Bastion comp with Singular Bird on the Bastion and some double shield with Reinhardt, Spartan Chief, And we see Arista for Soviet Rain focus. We see another Bastion composition. Bastion on Bastion. Bastion on Bastion. I can't believe I'm saying it. What is this? What is Rainfall doing on the Arista? It's sitting on the boat and it's been absolutely dominated. I'm not sure what Soviet Rainfall was doing there. Singular Bird and Sparky not getting killed in the spawn. And it's just super weird, this fight. And it looks like instead of Minnesota Wild Kings are going to take this one. Ataxia on the Baptiste goes down again, this time in Singular Bird. Hiding on the flank on this Bastion, and that was a really odd fight. Despite losing their Arista early on, Minnesota Vikings were able to bring that one back, which is super cool. Squishalane looking to win that Widowmaker Jewel. Can't quite find Scoldy, so can't win the Widowmaker Jewel if you don't know where the opposition Widowmaker is. And oh, Singular Bird on the flank. Gets the kill on the Fisher's Gecko. The Arista is gone. Gets rocked out. However, Rainfall is there to back up their Bastion. Spark Chief coming out on the Reinhardt. The aggression is being matched. And this is just dirty. This is one of the dirtiest spawn camps I've ever seen. However, Spark Chief down, as well as Singular Bird. Killer Dogs as well is traded out. However, I think eventually Saga Banditos are going to be able to progress on this.
Yeah. I am back, ladies and gentlemen. Had a little bit of a connection issue there. However, you know, that spawn cap was absolutely filthy. And, you know, looking at what we're coming through right now, Scoldy is getting some really nice sight lines onto the offense here. And it looks like they're going to go ahead and loop around and get some line of sight in the front. Pirate ship underway now. And you're going to have to look for the shielding as they start to progress through these street fates here. Goldfish does have the Gravitic Flux online and ready to go, so that might be something that they will be able to keep their wits with and really make this a huge push, though.
Oh, wait, hang on. That anti-grenade. That anti-grenade engages the fight, and Spark Chief comes in, pins on the Reinhardt. I mean, I was going to let you keep going, but the anti-grenade and Spark Chief's just diving in there and really engage that fight, and we see a little bit of tactical crouching as well, and Minnesota Vikings really are stamping their 40 on this series.
Oh my gosh, Scoldy. He's got a family. You should not be doing that. He's got a family, man.
They could be watching. They could be watching. Imagine your Killer Dogs is like father, just watching this game, wanting to see your son pop off on Bastion, and then Scoldy's just taking their head right out of spawn.
Indeed, and so looking at where we're coming through here now, you know, 5 ultimates online. Squishal's going to go ahead and pop the infra sites to let them know where all these sneaky boys and girls are at. Singular Bird behind them, getting the tank configuration out. This is going to be dangerous for them. But he gets taken down. Squishaloo takes him down before any real damage is done. Valkyrie has been popped. Killer Dog is going to go ahead and let his own tank configuration out. And, you know, they're investing a lot of resources here, Ocean, as they are trying to get as much damage out.
Get nothing.
They get nothing.
The Reinhardt gets nothing. Fisher's Gecko gets slept as well, so that means their main tank is kind of down, so they have to wait to stump their 40 in this fight. However, the supports are in a poor position, likely to get staggered, but I feel like just because of the distance with the spawns, if Minnesota Vikings can't even get back, I think they might be able to. They might be able to invest that time bar and get the time, but I don't actually think it's possible anymore. No, they will contest, and Scoldy about to win the Widowmaker Jewel, but I don't think it's going to matter. Actually, they do. It will matter. They get the Widowmaker Jewel, and they get the time barrier off, but eventually that's a small C9 from Ryan Guy, not really mattering too much, but point A finally going over to Saga Banditos.
But what a huge cost for them. I mean, it took them every single ultimate that they had in their banks, and they actually built up to more in the interim. However, really important point to put out here is that they're going to be going around this corner of death really mostly uncontested. No ultimates online except for the infra sites from Scoldy. So, you know, this is going to be a matter of a dry run coming in from Minnesota Vikings. They're going to have to... Oh, my God! Go have a family.
Yeah, and it's going to pick up another one. And, I mean, they switched over to this Roadhog, got off the Arista. I mean, I'm really concerned for Saga Banditos now, not only because they lost all of their ultimates, but the mental capacity has got to shrink after, you know, you lost that first fight, after, you know, you saw the Arista on the boat, kind of trolling, but I'm really worried for Saga Banditos. Like, if they are going to try getting back in the series, their mental is going to be so low right now. I mean, they're going to make some switches now, Swishaling. Gonna go over to the Ash and worry about that in the Widowmaker Duel, but I'm really concerned for Saga right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that they were kind of, I mean, while there were frags being done by the Bastion on Killer Dogs, I think that, you know, there was so much resources that had to be poured into him that it really detracted from the rest of the team, and you didn't get the value that you were really hoping from, especially being met by your own countering Bastion. So, you know, this is all a matter of Smart Chief, don't do it.
Oh, that's dirty. I mean, just a 3-man stand from Sparky. Actually, it was singular bird on the Reinhardt, if I...
Just got a, yeah, he just did the duplicate over to the Reinhardt and got the pin in there and got a lot of work done with that. Squishaloon's going to have to really be careful here. I think you're right. I think that the mental boom that's happening right now on Saga Banditos is real and is in full effect. And they've got to take a few seconds to stop staggering themselves, get a full regroup, maybe even you know, make sure that they're all on the same page, because Scoldy is going uncontested in the high ground and just letting loose with shot after shot, and he's not missing.
Yeah, Scoldy on this high ground now has the upper side available, has the information to try and get these kills on the Widowmaker. Oh, that's Sombra running low, however, gets that shielding and Singular Bird jumping off the map. Scaldy having his own Baptiste honey block for him. And now he has the nano as well. Now shooting range for Scaldy, and Soviets on the flank, and this is dirty for Minnesota Vibe Kings right now.
This is absolute filth coming out of the Minnesota Vibe Kings, and there is a nice flux. The Immortality Barrier is still up. They go ahead and get that down in a hurry. However, Soviet is just pressing into Fishface Gecko on this Reinhardt. He's almost got Shatter available, and you know, the point presence has been lost here for a minute. Singular Bird coming back on the May, and you know, putting a wall up. That's going to be a quick deletion back to spawn with you as soon as it comes up. That's a huge anti-grenade as well coming out of Q2. Yeah, I mean, a lot of work going in here from Minnesota Vibe Teams to try and stop the progress coming from the Saga Banditos. I think if they take this point, it's going to be a huge mental boon for them. However, it's not looking too well.
Yeah, it's not. Fishface Gecko has the Earth Shatter though, and Scaldy is going to go down to Hamachi in that Reddit Lucio versus Widowmaker duel, so they will get some traction now as they have the sound barrier as well, and a hack on the Spark Chief could be what they need to secure another kill. Hamachi's going to use that sound barrier, but here comes the slam. It's actually blocked. It's blocked by Goldfish on the Sigma. However, the nano boost coming onto Spark Chief, and yeah, it's a swinging range for him right now, and it looks like Minnesota Vibe Kings will eventually hold on.
Yeah, I mean, they got it around the corner of Death, but Death was waiting for them there. Even with the sound barrier being put out by Hibachi there, just too much pressure and a couple of magnificent anti-grenades coming out of Q2 really took them to the aggressive position as defenders. And, you know, there was really no answer coming from the support staff of Hibachi and Ataxia. You know, anytime they showed their heads, Scaldy was there with the sniper rifle and just clicking domes, finding their range, and it was just been a real boom to them. So we're gonna see how they do coming out on their own defense now. I am worried about their mental state right now.
Yeah, no, I would be burned. I'd be completely burned right now. If I was getting spawn camped by a Bastion composition with an Orisa sitting on a boat, I would be completely burned. It looks like they're gonna boom us even more. They're gonna run the Winston. Sorry, up in the Overwatch League currently, as well as the Tracy Guns. They're running a pretty standard composition, you know, a pretty competitive composition. However, if that San Lucio comes out, I imagine. However, I imagine Ranga's gonna Lucio amp out to spawn and then switch over to the Brigitte, so we'll see that full Zarya Winston dive composition come out from them. If not, they run that San Lucio and still get the W. And Saga, I don't see them coming back in this series. One, you are definitely mentally boomed. I don't care how strong your mental is. If you've just been destroyed by San Lucio, your mental's gone. And we'll see if they can fight back with this new Torbjorn look that they've got.
I do like the Torbjorn pick here, as it's going to be able to provide not only a little bit of alert for these flanks that Singular and Scaldy are going to be going on, but you know, the auto turret there, auto aim, is going to put a lot of pressure on them to really get the moves in onto the shielding. And you know, even though they're going to give up a little bit of space here, I think I like this coming out of Saga. They're taking a purely defensive position and really letting their utilities, their disposables, as I call them, deployables, as other people call them, really help keep them in these fights. But they're going to have to watch out for the dive coming in.
Yeah, so they're watching out for that dive. They do get a kill on the Scaldy and Soviet Rainfall, so that's two critical components of that dive composition gone. However, they've lost their own Brigitte. So that's something to watch out for. They don't have that whip shot, they don't have that shield bash, they don't have those critical cooldowns, and they have nothing to protect gold push from the pulse bomb. However, I think they're gonna bounce back into the fight pretty okay. They've got the numbers on their side, and Q2 gonna get staggered out. So good fight win for Saga Banditos, and that's a minute off the clock as well for the time back in Minnesota Vikings.
Indeed, and you've got Molten Core online, so that is going to be a huge space denier coming out from Saga Bandito. So when Killer Dogs decides to let that loose, you know, you're going to get a lot of value out of that. However, we now have Singular Bird onto the Widowmaker, so, you know, the sightlines are going to have to be that much more clean. They're going to have to be that much more precise in going in with their defenses and using their cooldowns. I mean, putting the turret underneath the Winston bubble there, probably not the best idea because it just blocks all the line of sight.
Yeah, I mean, that fight was just so over so quickly. There's no need to really compensate over that. Both their supports were gone immediately. So, I mean, nothing to work with for Saga. You're just losing your supports. You're not going over to this Moira break comp in like sort of a panic state to try and get a last fight in. However, Soviet Raid fought close to the Graviton Surge. Once get that off in their spawn, there's Singular Bird. It's just okay. Clicking everything. Actually, I hope they're not clicking everything. Hopefully using that right trigger, but gets 2 kills and Killer Dogs off the map. Ryan Guy with the whip shot, and that is just... I'm so concerned for Saga, but they do have a light. They have a light. Look at their ultimates right now.
Absolutely, you know, and looking at that, Goldie did drop the that really Soviet.
Okay.
Really
the
Soviet.
solo grab and the tactical crouching. If actually dying. Not even a rally would have saved them from that, and Squishy Lane staggered off as well by Spark Chief. I feel like this map's done and dusted. Scaldy now on the Genji, he's trying to build up to that Dragon Blade, trying to build up towards that win condition. I mean, positive now. You have 4 ultimates for Saga Banditos, and they don't have their Graviton Surge anymore, so you're only really dealing with the Sport ults and potentially a Primal Rage, so we'll see how they can deal with that.
Absolutely, and I think that, you know, they do have the ultimate advantage right now, but they've got to get back and really contest this point because that's a lot of stuff that you're going to have to really defend against. Now, 3 minutes 30 seconds to basically stop it, what, 13 meters, and you're just getting boomed this hard. That'll help.
Yeah, Squishy Lane gets 2 kills on the Tracy, and that fight's going to be done and dusted. However, they did use their own rally to do so, and their Gravitic Clutch. Using 2 of their own ultimates, however, Q2 and Ryan Guy invest their support ultimates on the offense, so Saga now just have to hold 3 minutes on this very oppressive defense position that we like to call stairs here on the altar.
Yep, and I mean, you know, we're looking at these 2 teams right now, and I mean, there's a lot of controlled chaos going on. I mean, Spark Chief and company are really taking it to Saga, and you know, they're not being able to play the game that they want because they're not really expecting everything coming in. That's a big shadow coming from him.
Yeah, big shadow from Gecko.
Big bubble from Rainfrog, though.
Yeah. I mean, Soviet Rainfrog is not just farming on this. Sorry, it gets the Graviton Surge off it again. That was built so quickly. Scaldy in with the Dragon Blade. I think this is going to be map 2.
Yeah, Ian, you called it right there, Ocean. That is a huge boom going against Saga Banditos. As we see Scaldy and really Singular Bird just destroying faces and taking names as they go by. The DPS difference right now is the difference between these 2 teams. I also think that, as I called it in the beginning, before we got into our first map, this is going to be whose support line is going to keep who up. And right now, Q2 on the main support role, absolutely keeping their team up to a T as you see it. I mean, getting a card here as the Ana, not too shabby of a job if you are a flex support or a main support here. And you know, it's just right now it's the DPS and the support core really taking it to Saga Banditos. But we're gonna take it to a quick break. We got a little bit of administrative work here to do behind the scenes, but we will be back with you in just a few moments.
Yeah, hello and welcome back to our GGNA Xbox quarterfinal match between Saga Banditos and Minnesota Vibe Kings. Can Saga Banditos crawl their way back into this series? It's been a dominant pursuit in victory for Minnesota Vibe Kings. Can they bring it back, Billy? Or are we going to be realists?
I mean, there's always the possibility. But looking at Minnesota Vibe Kings, they have decided that they're going to go on to the attack here. So I think that they're going to try and push this mental boom a little bit further, Ocean. We do see a couple of substitutions coming in. We see Koga coming in for Ataxia in the support role for Saga Banditos. Game Rulers coming in on the DPS in place of Squish Saloon. So we've got a couple of swaps there. Hopefully that will be something to boost up the morale of Saga Banditos, as we saw some really dominating performances coming out of Vibe Kings so far in our first two maps. So a little bit of unorthodox nature of Rialto, as we saw some really interesting comps coming out from both of them. I think that Vibe Kings has the chaos on lock right now, and I think they're really going to try and push it home here in Kings Row, Ocean.
Yeah, definitely. Hibachi and Koga as a support duo now. I mean, both of these healers, I think I've seen both of them. I've seen both of them play Mercy and Lucio, or not Mercy, Lucio, Moira and Lucio. So they might go just complete brawl. The fact they put Game Ruler in who can play Reaper, Genji, and Tracer, and even Ashe, I think I've seen Game Ruler play. So this just screams we're gonna try and brawl the entirety of Minnesota Vibe Kings, play our way on Kings Row or Scrims Row, if you will. So we'll see. If Saga Banditos playing their more comfortable style, as I'm going to assume they're going to do that, will work out for them in the end.
We saw both Scoldy and Singular Bird both bring out the Widowmakers at different points on Rialto. We also saw them pull out a little bit of a variation of the Chinese dive, where we saw the Winston and the Zarya for a moment with the Ana and the Lucio in there. I thought that was a very interesting look from them. Like I said, the unorthodox nature of what they were playing, especially on the attack, may have thrown Saga for a bit of a loop. I like the creativity that Vibe Kings are showing, though, and they're not going to take their foot off the throat of Saga Banditos anytime soon. I'm just hoping that Fishface, Gecko, and Goldfish can really assert their dominance in the tank line and really take it to Spark Chief and Soviet Rainfrog. So as we go into Kings Row now, we're going to see Saga Banditos try and hold back this really hyper-aggressive posturing coming from Minnesota Vibe Kings, and we're going to see how much of a stop they can put to this steamroll that's going on right now, Ocean. I'm not sure, like you said, I'm not sure if they can withstand what has been going on with them, especially with the mental boom of the past two maps.
Yeah, in particular, we saw a really cool composition. We saw the Chinese dive originating from Chinese contenders originally. Team CC very popular for their Winston Zarya. And of course, that eventually translated to their main Overwatch League team in the Shanghai Dragons. That's just awesome to watch their Winston Zarya composition, especially, as I said, fearless on the Winston. And I mean, there are other composition that Minnesota Vibe Kings ran. I mean, on their defense with the Bastion. I mean, was that really like unique compositions or creativity, or was it kind of just trolling?
I mean, I'm trying to call it creative, but I mean, it was
I'm gonna
trolling.
call
I mean,
it-
let's be honest, they were trolling them, and and it worked. I mean, when you put an Orisa on a boat and you've got a Bastion over there, I mean, you've got stones the size of boulders, man, if you do that. But looking at the defense coming out from Saga, we're looking at the Rhine Sigma variant of the double shielding. Hibachi's going to stay with the Lucio, so no Brigitte here. Game Ruler's going to bring out the Junkrat, so there's going to be a lot of shield pressure coming in from them. And looking at what we're seeing from Minnesota Vibe Kings, May, Genji.
Nah, Singular Bird. Gonna switch over to the Pharah. That didn't really bother. Oh, no, I'm back over to the main. Not sure. I mean, it was looking probably for a concussive blast in the back. So, smart play there. Spark Chief on the road. Oh, hero. Let me know Spark Chief 4 and Soviet Rainfrog on the Reinhardt this time around. So, a little bit of a change in the tank pairing, as we now see Singular Bird onto that Widowmaker, trying to duel Killer Dogs on the Ashe.
Here comes the flake book, and just deleting Koga without any notice there. And here comes the dash reset coming from Scoldy. Oh my gosh, Ocean.
Okay.
He's already 70% to a blade. That was blazing fast. That was dirty as you like. And I mean, I'm not sure if the call outs or if a call for peel is not being done, but look at the flanks
Look
that
at
are
this
happening
flank.
right now.
The Reinhardt and the Genji on the high card. The Budge is going to go up and try and challenge him. I think the Reinhardt's going to go as well. They have lost Singular Bird as Gamler switches over to the Genji. And I mean, I'm having a hard time commentating this because I'm meant to be filling in the play-by-play here. Of course, color my normal role is Soviet Red Frog goes for a bit of a vicious charge. And Barchi going for an ambitious flank on the hog. And it looks like this time Saga Banditos are going to pick up a fight win for the over-aggression on the side of Minnesota Vikings.
So I think they finally got pissed off enough, and they are going to go ahead and challenge everybody and swarm these flanks that are coming in. And Goldfish, you know, getting a lot of work done here. I really want to see this first Gravitic Flux come up and just boom everybody and take down, because they don't have an immortality field to the side from Minnesota Vikings Ocean.
Yeah, they've also lost their Reinhardt as well. However, they're going to go into the rally, and here comes the blade from Scoldy, looking for Koga, so the immortality field is gone. Now looking for the Sigma. I think that kill is coming as well, and just one Dragon Blade on a rally, and that fight is over. Minnesota Vikings continuing to dominate the series.
What is Spark Chief hoping to accomplish with the whole hog, especially with Shatter? I mean, you've got so much that can take you out of that ultimate. You know, you can be frozen. I mean, you can get a wall thrown in your face. Immortality field obviously is going to help against it. Yeah, I'm looking to see what the game is.
Is that Meg gonna live? I don't. Yeah, I think Pluto's just about gonna. Never mind. Goldie picks up the kill. He's gonna try and get out now, drilling with Hawachi. Hawachi picks up the mantle victory with the melee kill on Scoldy on the Genji. But the problem is they need to touch the point. They need to try and stop point B from being captured. And it looks like the distracting has been done, and enough distracting, and another big slam coming in from Soviet before they go down. Another moral victory for Minnesota as they get fish faced off the map. And although Game really gets those kills, point B has been captured, and I think the damage has been done.
The damage absolutely has been done, and there's been no contest against Singular Bird on this Widow, just taking a position wherever they like, and just dealing out so much damage to the Banditos. I think this is a boom team, but you know, they do have 4 ultimates online to really make a stall here. If they plant their feet here, land a couple of frags, and really put up a solid defense here, they stop the pressure coming in. They stop everything coming into them, even though, you know, there is a Transcendence available by team. Oh my God!
That's 2 gone already! I mean, they go for the Flux as well on the Soviet Rainbow, but the Transcendence is in. From there's Zenyatta, and those ultimates that they have, they can't even use. They're all dead. Can't press that Y button from spawn, and I mean, they do now finally have Avachi back on the loose, so they have to sign barrier, but a bit of a stinking night. Oh, this is painful to watch if you're a Saga Banditos fan. 4 minutes and 19 seconds on the clock for Minnesota Vikings, and they continue to rule for this series. And I would harshly like to say, I would like to say if this is the fastest speed run so far on console GG, but we'll keep it respectable and say it's still winnable for Saga Banditos.
Absolutely. Happened there. I mean, you caught some first, and rolling back behind 3 meters to go. And
okay, so I think we've lost Chef again. We're gonna try and get that sorted as fast as I can, because I can't do this cast without my handy little color commentator for the day. I'm filling in the play-by-play shoes for the first time in a very long time, so some feedback would be appreciated. But we'll see if Saga Banditos can get any sort of redemption in this series. And are going for their trusty Berg Bap composition. Spark Chief again on the road home, not a hero. Spark Chief is known for exactly. Spark Chief known to be a pretty good man sync player, pretty solid on Wrist, pretty solid on Reinhardt. So they're trolling around a little bit, and it looks like we're seeing Mercy Lucio composition, Q2. Probably just going to try and finish the series as fast as possible, build up Scoldy's Dragon Blades, let Gilbert have the damage boost on the Widowmaker and get off the picks. And Ryan Guy is back on their favorite Lucio pick, so they have the options. And okay, the emotes in the spawn, Singular Bird lining up the headshots. Yeah. It's been an interesting one to bring you guys. Nice. Goes to the Venomite to try and scout out that Genji. Will scout out the Genji. Really tries to time that dive, and Singular Bird's going to take this duel. It's not a duel that you would particularly favour the Widowmaker in, and Sylvia goes down as well to the pin from Fishface Gecko, and eventually you'd think that this over-aggression, this... I mean, they're kind of just undervaluing their opponent here, and they're going to just give up point A, these mistakes. And, you know, not really thinking highly of their opposition is definitely just going to cost the offense or the defense. On the side of Minnesota Vibe Kings, you know, you're giving, you know, a foothold to a pretty remarkable team in Saga Banditos. They made it to the top 8, so they still are a remarkable team, and you're giving them a foothold. And if they somehow manage to get back into the series, we're going to look back at this moment as Q2 goes in on the Mercy, kind of just fades, and I'm not sure if Minnesota Vibe Kings are just kind of destroying here, but realistically, this is the quarterfinals of the tournament. You kind of want to win this. You kind of want to put your best foot forward, and I'm kind of disappointed to see them messing around like this. I feel like we all would enjoy a nice proper series between two teams, and we'd like to see the quality that Minnesota Vibe Kings do have. No one ever wants to see a bit of a messy troll fest, but we'll see how it goes on. As Q2 and Ranga make some support switches to try and better filter their composition, and Scully has now built up to that Dragon Blade, so they have conditions to try and win the next fight. However, point progress, going over to Saga Banditos, they have options as well, so they'll have that Deadeye and Rally, so they have ultimates to try and get a win condition off. Mr. Goldfish needing that Immortality Field after getting anti by Q2 on Anna, so a Biotic Grenade putting in the work once again. Fish Gecko now building up to that Shatter as well, but Scaldy, that's what we're focusing on. The Dragon Blade comes in, doesn't quite get anything as of yet, but now Koga dying. I think we're going to see a couple more kills. However, the hook from Goldfish gets rid of Scaldy, but it's too late for the side of Saga Banditos, and Minnesota Vibe Kings will firmly plant their feet here on point B. And yeah, back to being the rap god. And ultimates are online for the offense. They will have all 6 ultimates, so they can kind of just press all of their buttons here, and they don't have a pick on Singular Bird as well to amp that. So this is a very good opportunity for the offense in Saga Banditos to take a fight. And I've said before, this team is a very competent team. They've been around for a while. A lot of these players have been around in the console scene, and they are definitely capable of great things. It's just unfortunate that we haven't been able to see this. And of course, they are against a very handy opposition in the Minnesota Vibe Kings, formerly known as Flying Gorillas. And Skimmerler now building up towards that Dragon Blade. It's going to be their win condition for the fight. They have the Rally as well. Sparky, he's going to look at the back line. Not sure if that was best use for that ultimate, however. Sparky does get away with it, like. Okay, well, it's not the brightest news, but it was the Goldfish getting the kills on the Roadhog. And Gamerler wrapping up a kill as well, so looks like Saga Banditos will be able to potentially count point B and assert some sort of momentum in this series. However, Scaldy and Sparky are holding the fort down, trying to not let any moral victories go towards the side of Saga Banditos. As we now see this 1v1 unravel on the point. Tracer versus Genji, and they eventually gonna just trade out. Singular Bird gets involved. Soviet Rain Frog just spinning the shield around. It is a victory for Minnesota Vibe Kings, and we have to see the side of Saga Banditos reset once again. However, both of the teams really resetting their ultimate economy in the next fight. Rangai has the Rally, and Sparky will have the whole Hog. Soviet Rain Frog will also have the Earthshatter ultimates online. However, the main ultimate to one-shot for, and what the viewers have to pay attention to, is that Dragon Blade. However, Game really can't use the Dragon Blade when he's low. Needs his resources. Soviet Rain Frog just holding up the shield for Singular Bird, getting the kills. Killer Dogs goes down. They're trying to break that Brigadier shield. That's a wild pin from Soviet Rain Frog. Doesn't get punished. The kill on the Fisheries Gecko with the full hold. And Vibe Kings continuing to dominate this series. A little bit of a break of the action as the fight cleans up, and we can think about this series, kind of reflect on our time as Abachi goes down, Dogs goes down, and this is the first spawn count now. We're back to our times here on the outside. And for Minnesota Vibe Kings, this is kind of just a moral boost for you, because you're kind of just rolling. And Saga Banditos, I feel bad for them because we know they are a capable team, and I hope this doesn't boom them any further, because they are very, very talented and nice professional players. So it'd be nice if this didn't boom them and they can kind of reset themselves after this game and come back again next season and kind of pop off. But it's really unfortunate to see this happening to them. Goldfish gets slapped by Q2's been pretty insane on the Ono when they've played it pretty efficiently. Biotic Grenades have been really nice. Sleep Darts landed pretty consistently as well. So Q2 and the Ono is one shining light. We'll see a Soviet Rain Frog in the back line trying to get some damage in. I mean, this is just a mess. I don't think we've ever seen a team fight like this on King's Road, just in this right-hand side alleyway. The defenders are flanking. Sparky goes for a kill on the Fishes. Get on Game Roller. This is his time to shine. Gets 2 kills for the opposition. The Dragon Blade is pretty nice. However, I don't think it's going to be. Now, Spark Chief looking to kill Goldfish with Scaldy. That's the target they want. However, Scaldy goes down to Toga. And point presence is there for the offense in Saga Banditos. And Minnesota Vibe Kings giving too many chances for this opposition. Soviet Rainfall comes in with the pin. Now he's ultimate to deal with, and Singular Bird kills Killer Dog. So it's not looking good again for the offense. It looks like they're just going to come back into this fight, the defense, and take it. However, that Earth Shutter is going to help them. Spark Chief goes down onto the ground. However, gets that nanoboost to keep him from Q2. So ultimate's invested here from the defense. So if Saga, dare I say, get this right, they may have a chance to capture all 3 points. As they do get Scaldy down, and it looks like Singular Bird will follow, so Saga Banditos will count point B and have a nice shining light in this series to go back home. So, as we head into the next team fight, Smart Chief just sacrifices their life and nice of it. Looks like exactly what the Pug Advert should be. Maybe we should change the clip. That's a different Reinhardt going off the map, and into this next fight, Game Ruler is now built up to another Dragon Blade and a new kill onto Singular Bird, which means that they will hunt the Dragon Blade guaranteed for the next fight. However, they are going into Ryan Guy's rally, so that's one option the defense has to deal with that Dragon Blade and at least stall out until overtime, so it means that they cannot possibly lose this map. Spark Chief on the flank, on the Roadhog, looking for an angle, almost up to that whole hog as well. So hit Rainfall goes for another crazy pin and gets punished this time around. Immortality Field for the offense, as well as an amplification which is trying to get them to stand. Singular Bird will get rid of that Immortality Field, and Scaldy will get involved, gets a post-bomb kill. And yeah, it looks like this will be a team fight victory for the defense. And once that Immortality Field was gone, we kind of felt that the defense would stabilize and make sure they put their foot down. But that means that there is still that one last fight. Saga still have the opportunity to draw this map. If they capture it in overtime, they cannot win this map. However, they can draw it and take it to the next map. The rules are first to 3, and Game Ruler has a Dragon Blade to let them operate and bring this series back. But other than that, no many more turn, options for them. Singular might go down though, so that might be nice. It's really hard to commentate over this. Soviet jumping off the map. They're a little bit of trolling, and I mean, I'm gonna be honest, this is not the most fun game to cast over. I always look forward to bringing you console games. That's where I'm from. But it's hard to watch this match as at least Goldfish gets these kills on the whole hog. And it means Saga Banditos have a chance of capturing this. Applying from Game Ruler, getting the biotic grenade onto the Honor who threw it. And the ultimate's coming through from Game Ruler and Killer Dogs mean that there are some signs of life for the Minnesota Vibe Kings. Saga Banditos, and they will have a chance to take Minnesota Vibe Kings to a map 4 if they manage to hold no ticks spared on Kings Row in 4 minutes and 19 seconds. A very unlikely and difficult task. And I mean, as I was saying, as a caster from the console scene, this is really hard to bring you this action because it is a devastating loss for Saga Banditos. It isn't really the nicest feeling, cast over a team that is not really respecting their opponents. I mean, it's fun to see the odd little troll, that spawn cap was pretty awesome on Rialto, but when you're jumping off the map and not respecting your opponents, that's something we never really like to see. And it is hard to watch, as we are going to see. A little bit of a similar composition on the offense come out, Bastion composition, so back to this sort of way. And I actually like this look that Saga Banditos showed in that last round. They showed some sort of promise with Game Ruler or the Genji, I think. Seeing that a little bit more with the break Vap and the Genji would be pretty awesome for them. I think that's a look they should definitely try to delve into in the future. So we will see how Minnesota Vibe Kings line up for their offense. One more map to go and they will take this series and go into our semifinals. At least we see Saga Banditos giving us a nice group huddle. They've done tremendously well to get to the quarterfinals. It's just unfortunate that they can't quite be at their best today, and the offense will go here as rapid as possible, trying to Soviet Rainfall, not even taking a hero as of yet. So they're looking and really relying on this Bastion to try and do as much as they can. Singular Bird getting hope, but has the Immortality Field, and we'll just set up in front of that team. We'll go down. Soviet Rainfall going for the Diva. And Scaldy switching over to the McCree. So what's being made for the offense as they look to break this defense down is Q2. Let's pick off, so time off the clock for the defense. That's a positive for Saga Banditos. If they can just kind of build up these ultimates, keep getting time off the clock, they definitely have a chance of getting back into the series. Sparchi going on to the ARS, the Sigler sticking with Bastion. That's what they are aiming for. They're aiming to get that Bastion set up and get some couple of kills. Nice hold hook though onto the D, which means Soviet Red Folk will be without that Diva mech. Mortality field around the corner, which allows Singular Bird to get set up. Here's another nice hold from Fish Face Gecko. Nothing else really happening though as that hook comes through and doesn't get anything. We're now on board with Game Roller. Game Roller on the Genji with the Dragon Blade, has that win condition online for the defense and is gonna try and pop it now to get some time at the clock. But Goldfish down, their off tank is down, and Game Roller possibly again nothing, and that is crucial. And it looks like Singular Bird is just gonna wrap this up. And Minnesota Vibe Kings will take Kings Row and take your series and advance to the semifinals of our Get Good NA console season. And congrats to them. Commiserations to Saga Banditos. It's been a pleasure seeing you progress throughout this tournament. Congratulations on getting to the quarterfinals. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. And yeah, got it. Minnesota Vibe Kings will move on to the semifinals.
And seeing what happened there, I just got back into it. Watching it from the stream, my internet finally came back. I had a thunderstorm over the top of me and actually knocked out my internet. That was pretty dominating from the side from Minnesota Vibe Kings. I mean, almost 4 minutes on the clock. Going in to take one tick, and I mean, you hate to see it, but I mean, that is the way it is, and it's a winner take all here. And you know, looking at what the Vibe Kings brought out, I think the support core from them tonight was really the difference. I know that the DPS popped off, but man, Q2 and company really took it to Saga Banditos and never really let them get any kind of a hold in this series, Ocean. And I think that the support core from them is what really kept them up all day.
Yeah, I mean, Q2 was insane on that honor, but unfortunately, we're gonna have to throw to a quick break. But don't go anywhere. We will have another series, hopefully later on today, from our junior division, which will be Orcus Tier 2, taking on number 1, 2C teams that we are also familiar with. So don't go anywhere. Grab some snacks, and we'll head to a quick break.